And here's what's happening at Ewetopia Farms today.
It'll rot down a lot better if it's rough than if it's too smooth. If that wasn't sprayed, that wouldn't cut up. That wouldn't cut in so good. That's the reason why I'm breaking the field.
These two are the fussiest people on legs and conformation. They picked 4 yearlings. So let's get started.
So Saturday, I think the combine operator was going to take the weekend off for a little bit of a break. We got 1 or 2 more days of combining corn yet. And I just had a quick lunch. Then dropped me off. And I'm going to work down the field today. So I'll show you what it looks like. And so that's what we're doing right there. I'm shooting into the sun, so I don't know how it shows up. So the problem this year is extremely hard. The ground is just like cement. We haven't had a lot of rain. We haven't had much rain for easily a month or a month and a half. From a wet spring, a wet summer, to a dry fall. And we're using this machine right here. I talked about it earlier, called an offset. So believe it or not, that tractor is actually working quite hard pulling that. These machines here are rated for every 1 foot of machine is 10 horsepower to pull it. They're pretty vicious, and you can see it's cutting in right there. So I'm just going to get a bunch of it done, and then I'm going to probably stop and tell you how deep we're going and what we're doing in this field. Because this field is all tile drained, but this field is extremely heavy clay ground. Except for that hill on the top there, it's a little bit sandy loam. So it's a kind of a mixed soil in this field. And this was a hay field for several years. We sprayed it down with a Roundup to burn it off. And now when I'm going, it's been burnt off for about 2 weeks. And now all the roots have died off. So the ground actually breaks up pretty easy now. I'm going to get a little more done. And then before this evening, before I quit, I'm going to tell you how deep I'm going and what the reasoning is, the way I'm doing this ground, and we're not plowing. This ground is rock hard. So that's why we're not plowing. We're going to break the topsoil loose with this machine here. Enough to rot down for the winter months. And we're going to work it in the spring. But I'll talk about that a little later. So, sorry, it's a little rough here in the field, so it's hard to hold things steady. But that's what I'm doing today. It's basically plowing, but instead of plowing with a moldboard plow, I'm only going about 4 inches deep. And I'll show you what it looks like in the back. Sorry about that. Bouncing around a little bit, sorry about that. That's what an offset is. And that's to me, that's doing a real nice job. That's all I want done for the winter. And I just wanted I don't want to make it any smoother than that. I want it a little bit rough for the frost, for it to break down for the winter months. Let's see, right down in the spot right where I am now, there's a ditch here. It's actually kind of black loam. And then you start to climb here. And this is extremely heavy clay. So the field has quite a mixture of different types of soil. But in a while I'll get out and I'll show you what it looks like. But it's going really well. And this wouldn't work this well if you didn't spray it dead. So 2 weeks ago we sprayed this with Roundup to kill off the grass. So then 2 weeks, it took 2 weeks and all the roots have rotted down, and now it breaks up real nice. So the sun, I'll show you. So the sun's just going down right now. So probably in about 30 minutes it's going to be too dark here, and I'm just going to go home. Couldn't get the field done, but I'm just going to show you what we did here. So this is one pass with an offset, and I would say it's probably broken about 5 to 6 inches here on top of the hill. But this ground here is a little bit loamy, so the machine's cutting real well. Down below there where the heavy clay is, it's probably only going about 4 inches. It's 5 inches, 4 inches deep, which I'm fine with that because there's a reason why I don't want to go too deep in that clay. So I'll just show you what's happening here. So you can see that lump right there. There's a lump of sod. But I actually don't want that broken down any more than what that is. Because now this winter that will freeze, and the water will get in there, and the oxygen, and that will just fall all apart this next spring. So I don't want it any smoother than that. It might look a little rough, but that's exactly the way I want it. It'll rot down a lot better if it's rough than if it's too smooth. So when you're plowing a sod field, you don't want to plow a field like in the plowing match where you have a real perfect plowing job. You actually want a more rougher job plowing. John Deere actually makes a Mulbert plow that was always highly recommended. And what it would do is, when it was cutting the ground and turning the ground over, halfway up the Mulbert, it would just throw the ground right out. And that would break down and rot the field way quicker over the winter months than if it actually laid it over too smooth. If you understand what I'm saying. So I did a real big piece today, all the way to the fence line back there. But I won't be done today. And you can see the field looks really good. I'm really happy with it. Like this machine here works better if it's too dry than too wet. And I'll just show you how much work this machine is doing. If you look at the coulter here, you can see that from here to about here, it's about 6 inches. So it's moving a lot of ground. And hopefully there's not a bearing going. So yeah, that machine is only 8 feet wide. I wish I had a 10-foot one, but that tractor's working actually. It's pulling hard. So a 10-foot, you might pull a little harder, and then if conditions weren't perfect, you wish you didn't have it. So the 8-foot's a little small. A couple more passes, another 30-40 minutes, and I got the same job done. So anyways, that's all I gotta do tonight. So I'm gonna work here probably for another 30 minutes. And then I'm going to call it an evening. But I'm real happy that the job is done. And this was sod, if you remember. We sprayed this dead. And the other thing that's happened is, the reason why you spray it dead, because now, if that wasn't sprayed, that wouldn't cut in so good. It would actually right on top of the ground. So since it was sprayed, and now it's dead, see, it actually falls apart a lot easier. Now, some people might say, why wouldn't you just no-till the crop in next year? Well, what's going to happen here next spring, the snow's going to melt, and the ice is going to melt, and the ice is going to melt out of the ground, and that sod right there is going to keep the ground cold and wet. By breaking the field up, the field is going to get a lot warmer, a lot drier, a lot ready to plant way quicker than no-till. So that will probably keep the ground cold. That dark ground there will actually bring the heat in from the sun. You know, if you wear black, you're actually a lot warmer than when you wear white. So that's the reason why I'm breaking the field. And plus, I'm not a no-till guy. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I do it the old tillage way. But to be honest with you, most farmers around here that say they're no-till are all working the soil again. Most of them are working the fields. I just went for breakfast this morning, and I would guess that 80–90% of the no-till guys were all tearing the fields down. So yeah, no-till or the old-fashioned way is up to you. Anyways, I'm going to quit talking, and I'll talk to you shortly.
The sun's going down in the west, and apparently we got quite the moon coming up in the east. There's our owls. And here comes hubby after a day in the fields. Well, we've got someone coming to pick up some Dorset rams this morning, and he's going to be here shortly, so we got to sort the rams out very quickly. Arnie's just going to feed them so that they're fed for their journey, and then we got to get all the Dorsets out. So, with minimal amount of yelling, we managed to pull out the 6 yearlings. Matthew was looking for 6 yearlings. I think they're really nice. If he doesn't like one of them, we are wanting to keep the RR. So, or we'll see what happens. But this is the crew. I think they're nice, and they're unrelated to the other ones he got from us. He should be here shortly, and we'll hear his opinions. He's a fussy guy, that Matthew. They're fighting among them now to get the food. But I think Brenna's the boss, his wife. So we'll see what she says. Hi, sweetheart. You're the one we'll keep if need be. They're here. So usually they go to the main barn, so we gotta direct them back to the coveralls right now. And we'll see what they think. They've also got a cow in the trailer. So they're on a mission, buying mission today, because they're from Western Ontario. So we haven't been to Matthew and Brenna's place yet. But these two are the fussiest people on legs and conformation, which is a good thing. Because, yeah, it's a tough thing. So these guys are looking at the January, February lambs now. That guy looks nice from the front.
Can't go wrong with any of these.
These guys are very, very particular on legs. And for Dorsets, I have to admit that's their weakness. So I totally understand them being hard on that. So we're now looking at Arnie. Don't second guess them. My goodness! Every time they pick one, he'll make. No, these guys are full grown. These guys won't grow. They won't grow taller. They'll grow wider. They're in the yearlings now. One has been eliminated. But they're getting one of our lambs, or two, or I don't know how many. Hi, sweetheart. You have a very pretty face. They picked 4 yearlings, the RR one and the super friendly fluffy face one. I knew they'd pick him. He is a sweetheart.
guys can do it. Come on. Just against the hole in the fence.
I don't think they've ever.
Jump up,
There we go. Oh.
jump up, jump up, jump up. Come on.
Well, I think they're looking at those beef. What on earth are those?
Jump up.
Okay, Arnie, you're out.
Is that okay? Or you want to small
No,
one?
we're-
Jump on.
we're
Jump on. It's freaking.
See you later. So now we're gonna move the trailer up a little bit, and you have to do some finagling to get. He's gonna get some lambs as well, or they are. Yeah, usually we just let them all in here and then start letting them out.
You two come in here and open the pen up. You want the two to walk out? How many can you mark?
But not the front one.
Yeah, just don't pressure them and they'll go in more easily. And if you get them all in there, then close it.
You want to send them out?
Yeah.
So we were going to round them all up, but the one they wanted the most jumped out, and we don't want anyone getting injured, so we're going to do one at a time. That way nobody gets injured and nobody gets away. So that guy's going to join the yearlings, and we got some more to catch.
Smaller.
So now we're looking at some more. Now you could just grab them and hold them. Do we have halters in here?
You can just let them go as soon as you grab them, man. That's a little bit. You okay?
Yeah.
So what's he doing? All the rest are coming out?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look at the one you got here.
Yeah.
There we go. The rams are off to their new home now, and Arnie just headed to the field. So I decided that since my tree was here, I may as well get that started and finished ahead of schedule for a change. So here it is. We got all our beautiful shell ornaments on here. And over the years, I've been collecting all kinds of ornaments, sheep ornaments, any kind of wildlife. So we're pretty full right now. But I love decorating these trees with all these ornaments because they all mean something. Like, it's not a cookie cutter designer tree design. It's all decorations that came from the heart and our memories from years and years. Some of these ornaments my kids made when they were babies, and like we've had visitors. For instance, this one in 2015, a visitor's child made that for us, and then we've had so many people make things for us. They're, yeah, so many nice things. So, Christmas is fun for me because of the tree. I just love all the ornaments and stuff. So, I'm ahead of schedule on something in my life these days. It's amazing. Well, the rams are gone. Arnie's almost finished the field, only an hour left. So that'll continue tomorrow, but it will be short, don't worry. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye for now.
The rams are gone, and we're on the way to the bank.
Well, they got a really good deal.
They should be ashamed of themselves.